All
right. So this is Reline project. Okay. Once you've got your denture in, and many times with certain patients, you need to do a soft reline. Most of the time, we do the soft reline mainly to recapture the intaglio of the denture to make it fit better. When do we do that? After extractions. Sometimes patients lose a lot of weight and they tend to get the dentures loose, bone reabsorption, and things like that. Today we're gonna do a soft reline, okay? This soft reline can be used for a further hard reline or a lab reline with acrylic again. But the first thing is to do a soft reline.
This is a soft material, not a tissue conditioner though.
Right, this is a
they're
soft
a little
material.
different.
Exactly. And we'll go over tissue conditioning and soft relines.
Right.
The thing we want to do first is I want to take out or create some space for some different surface. Or get the different surface for
renew the surface.
Renew this. Thank you.
And provide relief like you did in a custom tray.
Exactly. And the way I like to do that, or the way we can do this, is because we don't know exactly how much we can take or where we can take. Remember how we always talk about painting or using some visual aid such as this Sharpie in this case. When we go to fix, these students are doing fix right now, and we're trimming up provisionals, and we're trying to get those finishing lines, and we paint them with the pencil. Well, this is the same thing. What I want to do here is I'm gonna paint everything so that way, as I am getting this little coat or this small coat of acrylic off of the intaglio of this denture, I know which parts I did and which parts I have not done yet. So this is what I will do. I will paint it all. There's many ways to do this, but I just find this way very visual and very didactic to do it. Okay? So now that I have it, I can go into the lathe with no gloves. Never use gloves with the lathe. And get one of these. Right? Into a high. Let's see if I can get this working here. There you go.
You can flip it actually has suction, flip the switch on right there.
And then from here, you can see well, Holly, right there?
Yeah, I can see through it.
Okay. The only thing I need to do here now is get rid of the white, the black paint. And I want to be generous on the cutting here. So I want a new surface with the soft material. Pretty much I want this denture to be loose on the patient's mouth, so I can recoat the intaglio with this material, right? I'm gonna do one half so I can show you. What would happen, and so on. What would happen if I don't retake? I don't remove this small coat of acrylic. Well, maybe I can alter the vertical dimension because I'm adding more material onto it, and then I will have some see-through spots through this material that I don't want in certain cases, and that's why it's always very, very important to take out a small layer of acrylic before we do the hard reline. I'm gonna finish up doing this, and then I'll show you the next step.
you go, halfway.
Halfway through.
I'm recording you, showing you just finishing it up.
So now we're done. We pretty much have a good coat taken off. Very important to go around the limits of the denture, but also go as well a little bit on the vocal portion. You see how I'm taking the polished part away, so it's easy for the new material to stick onto that, okay? Let's go the procedure.
Yeah.
Anything else? For the next step, because Mr. Edentulus again does not have any saliva, and we're gonna use a sticky material to do the reline, we're gonna lubricate the mannequin with some lubrication material, okay? And the way I want to do this, and I want you guys to do it here in the sink, okay, is you're gonna put a small amount of this, probably like that. Probably go around with your finger and get into the vestibule, into the ridges, into all these, right? And then you will use the air here, kind of like to make sure you
Nice and thin.
thin out the coat. Now this lubricant, guys, only goes onto the mannequin. It does not go into the ear, because then it's not gonna stick into the denture. It just goes there. Okay, once I have it like that, a nice blowed out thin layer, we'll go to the procedure. Cut.
Okay.
All right, so for the project itself, for a soft denture reline, what we're gonna need is soft denture material. We need a measuring cups, a spatula, okay? And basically, well, Mr. Edentulus previously lubed with some WD-40 just to prevent from this sticking material to get stuck into the rubbery Mr. Edentulus. And we talked a little bit about soft denture reline, and what this is going to do is inside of the mouth, it's gonna reline the intaglio to make it fit better, okay? And it's a material that will not harden over time. It will after many months, but this is just something we use to give more retention and more stability and more comfort on a ill-fitting denture. Okay, so we took out a little small liner or little part of it here, and now we're gonna do the reline. When we do the reline, we're gonna use liquid and powder, just like the jet acrylic you were using in Fix. This is the same concept, where we're gonna use, but in this case, we're gonna strictly use measures. So we're gonna use 10 cc's of powder, right there, okay, with 10 milliliters.
No, 5 milliliters
I mean,
of the liquid. 2-to-1 ratio.
Thank you, Wallace. 5 milliliters of liquid. You can use these measuring cups, or you can use the provided measuring. How do you say this one?
Granulated cylinder.
There you go. Nice. So once we have this, we're going to incorporate the water onto here, and we're going to make a mixture. Before that, like I have explained to you guys in fix, or anytime we use any acrylic based material, I want to previously moisten or coat with a little bit of the monomer the denture itself. And this is just, it doesn't say anywhere, but it's just that I have a better and more humectated, how do you say? You know,
A bond, a chemical bond, actually, that you're going to have
onto
there.
there.
I used to use a material that came with a primer, and I would paint it on there if I wanted it to come out, well, with difficulty.
Right.
Now, if I was going to do it and I plan in a week to take it out, I might not, because I wanted it to strip out of the denture easily.
In this case, we're doing it like this. Then I'm going to add the liquid, and I'm going to start the mixture.
Now, don't whip it, because you don't want to incorporate air.
I'm whipping it like this.
Yeah, slowly stir it, incorporate it, to try to incorporate as few air bubbles as possible. And that's a little bit of a dry mix, but
Yeah, and it's a little bit more, but I think it's going to work out
yeah.
fine. Yes.
But you got to be careful with the co-soft. I find it sets pretty fast.
Yeah.
The stuff I used to use was slower, which most people say, no, fast is good, you make more money that way, but if it's too fast, you don't get as good of a result.
So now I'm going to put it right here onto the base, and I'll spread it. See? Try to get good portion out. Spread it evenly throughout the ridge. Right? And then I'm going to go over to the
Over the flanges, yeah.
Right.
Just like you do an impression.
because we're going to ask the patient to also do the movements. So now that I have it, let me see, I have a little extra. I just want to put a little extra here. Don't take too long. Now we go to the patient's mouth. Remember, we go from the back to the front, right? In this case, Mr. Denture, you know, we don't have that much of a problem here. I'm going to try to do some of these get rid of the excess of the material. In the patient, when we're doing real patients, we're doing the border molding here, right? We're doing the movements and the border molding and everything. In this case, we don't have much to do.
And a lot of times with a patient, you have them occlude and try to maintain
Thank
the
you.
same VDO.
It's very important. We use the lower denture to create even forces. Patient is occluding. This is in the clinic. As the patient is occluding, then the material is setting in the right occlusion. Okay, that's very, very important. I think that's one of the most important things about the Reline. Thank you, Wally. Because if not, if I'm just using my